Glad to have you join us on Soul TV Evening News. My name is Laveth Onyebuchi. Let's begin with the headlines. Governor Francis Swinford appoints new Vice Chancellor of Ebonyi State University. Police officer commits suicide in Niger State. Displaced Palestinians return home as Israeli troops withdraw from Gaza. The news in details. Governor Francis Swinford has appointed a new governing council for Ebonyi State University. The governor made the appointment during a church service at Government House Chapel, Ochudo Centenary City, Abakaliki. This followed the expiration of tenure of the council. Government House correspondent Osondu Nguta completes the report.
Governor Swinford commended the outgoing council members for the professional and mature way they handled the affairs of their institution, which has placed it on the world map, and charged the new appointees to strive to keep the flag flying. Among the newly appointed governing council members were Professor Michael Awoke as Vice Chancellor, Professor Ike Lechogba, Deputy Vice Chancellor Academics, Professor Michael Ajanwachuku, Deputy Vice Chancellor Administration, Mrs. Ugochinyere Mbaoka, Registrar, Mrs. Roslyn Mozo Bossa, and Dr. Victoria Nwale as librarian. Governor Swinford, who expressed hope that the appointment would bring new ideas and innovations that would further enhance academic excellence and institutional integrity within the state's higher education framework, noted that their efforts have not only fortified the foundation of the university, but have also repositioned it on the world map as a reputable institution of higher learning, and urged the newly appointed members to strive for excellence and uphold the values that have propelled the university to the new heights. The governor also appointed Chief Ben Nwovu as Senior Special Assistant to the Governor on Ebonyi State Road Maintenance Agency, Mr. Obina Ibaki as the Director of the agency that would be in charge of Ebonyi North Senatorial Zone, Mr. Uchenna Eze as the Director in charge of Ebonyi Central, and noted that consultations were still ongoing for the appointment of the director for that of Ebonyi South Zone. He further appointed members of the State Land Allocation Committee with Mr. Ben Nwokpoko as its chairman, Chief Livinus Ilang, Crown Aja, Paul Iganga, and Simeon Wivu as members of the committee. The governor charged all contractors handling government projects and all appointees of government to be alive to their responsibilities and emphasized that his administration has zero tolerance for indolence and unproductivity. He used the opportunity to lift the suspension of some of his ex-council members and Executive Secretary, Ebonyi State Health Insurance Agency, who were earlier suspended for various offenses.
To our contractors, I don't want you to be my enemy. If I give you a job and I mobilize you after 1 week and I do not see you, I will terminate the job. Because we must commission the project. If you have the opportunity to get a job, it's an invitation to get more. Because once you finish that job on time and according to the specification, definitely you get another job.
Governor Swinford, who emphasized his administration's readiness to welcome constructive criticism, warned against dishing out of fake news about the state to the public through social media, noted that though the Federal High Court sitting in Abakaliki nullified the state cybercrime law of 2021 for contravening some sections of the 1999 Constitution, his administration still has at its disposal the 2015 Cybercrime Act of the National Assembly, which is being domesticated in the state to deal decisively with offenders.
Social media are there to tell our informed youths, and most of our people who are not well equipped academically are buying what social media dish out. Those that criticize me on social media, I am still very agile and very competent and very educated to prosecute them. So I don't need you to attack them in social media. I will teach them lessons that even their family will never easily forget.
Further frowned at the continued killing of innocent citizens of the state at Amagu village, Nkaleha, in Ishelu local government area by some miscreants, and assured that his administration had deployed enough security to the area to forestall further killings. promised to give the deceased a befitting burial. Earlier in a sermon, which centered on the grace of God as manifested in the calling of Peter, Simon, and Paul by Jesus Christ, the chaplain, Government House Chapel, Reverend Father Jude Agama, emphasized that God's calling is not reserved for the perfect, but rather for those who are willing and available, noting that it is not one's ability that qualifies him for the divine work, but rather their availability to God's calling.
There are uncountable things you can do now that you cannot do when you leave office. When we leave office, there is a sense of emptiness, worthlessness, and some go into depression. But if we cooperate with grace of office, now we will be fulfilled.
The cleric, who reminded Christians that God's grace is sufficient and he desires to work through each person despite their imperfections, urged Christians to acknowledge their own unworthiness in the face of God's mercy and grace to excel in all their endeavors. Osando Nguta, Salt TV News. Governor Nwifuru commended the outgoing
In a bold move to reaffirm his commitment to quality governance and the delivery of democracy dividends, Governor Francis Nwifuru has embarked on an extensive project inspection tour in some parts of the state to ensure that they meet the expected standard and are completed on time. Osando Nguta is our guide.
The project inspection highlights Governor Nwifuru's dedication to ensuring that the benefit of democracy reached every citizen. During the inspection, Governor Nwifuru visited several ongoing project sites, including Ezaufu Obudechi Road, Obudechi Ijogo Road, staff quarters in Ebonyi State University of ICT, Science and Technology, Oferekbe Agbaja, all in Ije local government area. The projects, which have reached varying degrees of completion, received Governor's nod, indicating that they are in line with the project specification and, as well, highlighted positive impact those projects would have on local communities. The Governor's commitment to project oversight and community engagement reaffirms his administration's resolve to transform the state through effective governance. Osando Nguta, Salt TV News.
Moving on, the Ebonyi State Pipe Production Company has resumed full operation after years of inactivity. EBBC TV crew visited the factory to ascertain its state after the administration of Governor Francis Nwifuru committed huge resources to revamp the company. The report.
Ebonyi State Pipe Production Company, established in May 2015 by the administration of former Governor Martin Elechi to produce pipes of various sizes for industrial purposes, was grounded after about 1 year of its establishment, poised to reactivate the vandalized factory machines, including the 500 kVA generator. The present administration in the state approved funds to relaunch the company to its full production capacity. The general manager, Mr. Uchenna Utu, conducted EBBC television crew round the production chain.
We just commenced the production of 40 mm 75. As you can see, the production is ongoing. That's the process. What you see here is that boys are mixing raw materials. When they're done mixing the raw materials, it goes to the machines for the production of the exact pipe we want to produce. The process from the mixer, the raw materials to the machine, and then it flows. At this point,
Mr. Otu explained that the company had since commenced production of water reticulation pipes, conduit pipes for wiring ranging from 140 mm, 32 mm, 25 mm, 40 mm, noting that initial hiccups that hampered the resumption of production had been overcome. Apart from the newly installed machines, the factory premises, including the offices, have been given a facelift, while arrangement has also been completed to extend production to midnight.
I met a place determined to excel. I say so because I made machines installed, being the offshoot of the efforts of His Excellency the Governor of our dear state, and as his appointee and lieutenant, I knew that we were duty bound to make here work, being that industrialization is one of the cardinal points of his People's Charter of Needs governance mantra. We have gone into full production. The governor made that possible. We have gone into full production. If you have others, please place them.
He revealed that issues surrounding insecurity around the company, procurement of raw materials, and availability of market have been resolved, and called for patronage from dealers and industrialists as the quality of products from the company has been certified to be of high standard. EBBC crew also witnessed the pipe production process, the reticulation machine, and the crusher where all debris and condemned pipes are converted and returned as raw materials for usage to minimize wastage.
We have conduit pipes and we have different sizes and gauges of pipes, and they all serve different purposes. So your needs determines your order. So what thrives here may not thrive in another location. So we are ready to offer you diverse services. So your order determines what we produce for you. The consumer should buy the pipes that are produced from Ebonyi Pipe Production Company, because as an end user, you're guaranteed of quality, and the longevity of the pipes saves you money.
The general manager assured that government investment in the company will not be in vain. Moses Erogo for Soul TV News.
After this break, the news continues. Glad to have you rejoin us on the news. A report from Anambra State, where a well-known celebrity native doctor, popularly known as Akwokoko Tiwara Akina Oba, has been arrested by local vigilante operators Agone Chemba. His arrest was confirmed in a short video posted on Anambra State's new media handle on Saturday, the report.
The native doctor was apprehended on Saturday in Oba, Idemili South local government area of the state. Akwokoko Tiwaraki in Oba denies Okite and has been detained for further investigation by the security agency. Sources said the traditional ruler was taken to the office of the deputy governor, Dr. Onyeka Ibezim, for interrogation. According to a video circulating on social media, the deputy governor questioned him where he said he has stopped doing Okite. In July 2023, he was kidnapped by gunmen and spent some days in captivity.
Away from Anambra to Niger, where an assistant superintendent of police ASP, Shafiu Bawa, has committed suicide in Niger State. Bawa was said to have taken his life by hanging himself. Bring you the report.
The Niger State Police Command confirmed the incident in a statement on Sunday. According to the command spokesman, Wasi Abiodun, the incident occurred on February 8, 2025 at the 61 Police Mobile Force (PMF) base in Katangora. It is, however, unclear the motive behind the suicide. The police authorities said the officer's body was removed from the scene and later released to the family for burial. Meanwhile, the command said it has launched an investigation to uncover the circumstances surrounding the tragic incident.
And to the foreign scene, Israel troops have withdrawn from the Netizerian corridor, a military zone cutting off the Gaza Strip from the south. Hundreds of Palestinians in cars and on carts laden with mattresses and other goods began returning to northern Gaza following the pullout of the scenes of utter destruction, the report.
The Israeli withdrawal is in line with the Israel-Hamas ceasefire agreement of 19 January, under which 16 Israeli hostages and 566 Palestinian prisoners have so far been freed. By the end of the first stage of the ceasefire, in 3 weeks' time, 33 hostages and 1,900 prisoners are expected to have been freed. Israel says 8 of the 33 are dead. Hamas seized 251 hostages and killed about 1,200 people when it attacked Israel on 7th October 2023, triggering the Gaza war. At least 48,189 Palestinians have been killed in Israel's offensive, according to Gaza's Hamas-run health ministry. About 2/3 of Gaza's buildings have been damaged or destroyed by Israel's attack. About 7,000 residents of northern Gaza fled to southern areas at the start of the war when the Israeli military issued mass evacuation orders before launching a ground invasion of the Palestinian territory. Many of those displaced were subsequently forced to move multiple times after Israeli forces pushed into southern Gaza too.
Still on the foreign scene, the families of 5 farm workers held hostage in Gaza for over a year wept with joy and hugged their loved ones as they arrived in Bangkok on Sunday. The 5 Thai smiled as they worked after being freed on January 30 as part of a ceasefire deal aimed at ending the Gaza war. We bring you the report.
A member of one of the affected families, Pongask, told reporters that he was at a loss for words as he saw his family. Sambun Saoto, the father of Bonwat, said he was so happy and that his family would welcome his son home with a traditional Thai ceremony. Bonwat moved to Israel 9 months before his kidnap in search of a better income for the family. Thai Foreign Minister Marisangamposa said it was very inspiring to witness their return and that officials would monitor their reintegration into the society, focusing on their mental health.
The recap of the major stories: Governor Francis Nwifuru has reconstituted the Governing Council of Ebonyi State University and appointed Professor Michael Awoke as the new Vice-Chancellor. An Assistant Superintendent of Police, ASP Shafel Bawa of the Niger State Police Command, has committed suicide. Motive for his action is yet unknown. Israeli troops have withdrawn from the Netzarim corridor, a military zone cutting off the north of Gaza Strip, making way for hundreds of Palestinians who fled their homes to return. And that's the news tonight. Many thanks for your time. My name is Laveth Onyebuchi. Wishing you a pleasant evening.